Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode on my channel. This episode of Real Talk, I am very blessed and humbled to welcome the Suited Fella, also known as Asim Mohammed, onto the channel. Very, very excited. First of all, why don't you kick off, bro, and tell these people a little bit about what it is you do. I know you do a lot, so talk to them about what it is you're focusing on right now.
All right, cool.
And keep it brief, because I've got a lot of questions. Just so you know, the reason I brought this guy on is because I was very, very impressed with, first of all, his branding, which I want to dig into a bit more. Second of all, the use of social, right? I saw some things straight away when I came across your profile. I don't even know how I came across your profile, actually.
I followed you.
Okay, you followed me.
Too, yeah.
So I checked out your profile and just very impressed with the dynamic content you had. And then when I went onto your story, and by the way, I will let you speak. When I went onto his story, I also started to see, okay, wow, some educational content, some direct response stuff. So then it started to paint a picture. Oh wow, great content, outreach, call to action. And then that's when I started thinking, you know what, maybe this is a guy I should start paying some attention to. Reached out, and here he is. So go ahead, man, the floor is yours.
Yeah, so what I currently do is I dive into this kind of trading side, so financial markets, forex, and I also incorporate marketing into that. Also, I'm involved in the vape game, so I've been in the vape game for about 3-4 years now.
Yeah.
It's been a while. Perfected that in a sense.
Yeah, I see that, bro.
Created content for that, and just trying to travel the world as much as possible. And I'm looking to get into the consulting game, which is where you come in.
Oh, right. Yeah. So I'll close him later. So let's start there. Financial trading. One thing you guys may not realize is the age. This guy's maturity is way beyond his years. And he just shocked me 10 minutes ago when we were having a chat. Tell the people, first of all, how old are you, bro?
21.
Okay, bang, 21. When I was 21, I was playing basketball in America. So I was on a scholarship, so I wasn't doing too bad. I had a scholarship in America, I was playing ball. But business was not on my mind. It was to a small degree, I had a few things I was trying to do over there with music and stuff, but nowhere near, the level of input and output that you're having right now with your entrepreneurship, with your business interests. So, first of all, what is it that got you into business and got your mindset to the place it is today, which is obviously, very, very fine-tuned to entrepreneurship and business? What is it that got that started?
I got enveloped into the whole corporate side of the world at the age of 16. Okay. So I was very young getting into the working game, being an accountant. All right. For about 4 or 5 years.
Wow.
And then I was also a huge fan of personal development, as it was trying to become like my better self, become the best version of yourself, all that kind of stuff. And then I got involved with the forex industry, incorporating with the network marketing industry, and that just like skyrocketed my whole agenda to just personal development. Started reading loads of books.
How did that transition happen though, between the corporate side of things and the accounting to this, where you're at today? What was the key trigger that made you shift? What shifted your mindset? Was it a particular person?
Yeah, it was fulfillment. I realized that just doing the corporate side and the corporate job just to satisfy my parents was not something I would be able to put up with for the rest of my life.
Wow.
I wouldn't be happy doing that.
Okay, what is your parents? Well, can we share what your parents?
Yeah, sure.
Your dad's an accountant.
Yeah, so my dad's a bus driver. My mum used to be a solicitor, but now she's like an office manager.
Nice.
So my dad didn't want me to make the mistakes that he did as a child, being like not doing what he was supposed to do. So they kind of forced it on me from the early age to either be an accountant, engineer, or doctor.
So get educated.
Yeah, basically.
Typical Asian
mentality,
right?
Yeah.
And I mean, I didn't know this was going to come up, but this is such a huge subject when it comes to any aspect of life. One of the major influences straight off the bat is your parents or whoever's bringing you up, exactly. And to break, I've had to do it myself, to break free of not only, not the shackles, but to gain your independence, right? You will generally have to, in most circumstances, go against some of the principles that your parents are enforcing on 100%. You, which is, in your circumstance, it sounds like the least risk. Get educated, you can get a guaranteed salary, you can do it for the rest of your life, we can get you married,
exactly.
And happy days, you get your own kids and repeat the cycle of, in most cases, average. I consider that lifestyle a very average lifestyle, although there are many people, maybe someone watching this right now, if you are working that, in a very skilled profession, no doubt you're successful, but for me, it doesn't attract me because of the independence and the fulfillment. So how was that process for you, going against the grain and really gaining your independence from that typical mindset?
So how did I gain that independence?
Is it a natural thing? Was it a long-term thing?
It wasn't, because I've always been like kind of spoon-fed in a sense. So it was a very difficult journey to actually help my parents understand that, look, I want to do what I want to do in life. I don't want to carry on waking up, sitting on the side of my bed saying, no, I can't be bothered, I don't want to wake up this early, I don't want to go to work, slap on a suit, look happy and be that average person even though I hate my job. If you do like your job, you've won life. But if you don't like your job, then you're wasting your time. Like, I look back at the past 5 years, even though I picked up a couple skills, it was predominantly a waste of time. Because I was doing monkey tasks, like you said.
Monkey tasks. Be less monkey, more gorilla. I'm telling you, man, this is the gorilla show. Only bring on gorillas and gorillettes. There'll be some gorillettes. Cool, man. So look, all right, moving away from you breaking free, congratulations, you're a made man. Your parents, I hope they still love you.
Yeah,
to a degree. In 5 years, they'll probably say that was the best thing you could have ever done, right?
Exactly.
And so would you agree that, sometimes in order to get to where we want to get to in our own lives and to give back, the irony is to give back to the people we love the most. Sometimes those people could be the ones who influence us against actually getting there.
Exactly.
That's irony. But would you say that sometimes you have to shut out all that noise and go in your own direction to figure it out?
You have to, like, I'm a huge fan of Gary Vaynerchuk. Gary's like
big dog,
one of my big
gorilla,
and he's awesome in this kind of content as well. But he says, and he's made videos to parents where you can just send it to them and they'll tell you the script. So what I basically did was exactly. That's exactly what it said. But yeah, so 18 months. Let me do what I want to do. If it doesn't work out, then I'll go to what you're happy with.
So you set some parameters
I said just give me until 18 months. I'll give it my best shot.
Well, that's respectful, and I'll take my hat off to you, because a lot of households, they'll just be dead set against it. Exactly. But to know that your parents were flexible enough to be like, you know what, we will support you. Let's just make it sensible. Yeah. And look, at the end of the day, they're looking out for what's best for you, right?
Exactly.
And sometimes, the lowest risk and the safety net that they obviously want for you.
Yeah,
it's attractive. It's attractive. Would you want that? Maybe even, I don't know if you have kids right now. I'm assuming that. Not with parents like that.
No.
But maybe when you have your own kids, it'll put things. I don't have any kids as well, so maybe it'll put things into perspective.
Possibly.
As to what you want, but
it's a social norm more like, and it's all fed by society and tradition as well. Go for the safety, go for the guaranteed stuff. By the end of the day, we're not chasing average guarantees. We're trying to achieve a greater purpose.
Exactly.
Trying to impact lives here.
Love it. Cool. So the financial trading world, the company that you're working with, and which one?
iMarkets Live.
iMarkets Live, IML. I've seen a very, very funny meme, right? And you've seen it as well.
Yeah, I've seen
it. It was probably the brainchild of a marketer who's working with IML. When there's a guy at the toilets, at the cubicle in a toilet, obviously doing his business, and there's someone walking in and whispering in his ear, "Have you heard about iMarkets Live?" And that for me was hilarious. I get approached by network marketers daily, like DMs daily, and I love network marketers. It's so difficult to be a great network marketer.
It is.
But
it is.
The principles you have to have in order to be a successful network marketer are transferable to anything in life.
Exactly.
Talk to me a little bit about that.
I think marketing is the catalyst in personal growth, personal development, and kind of business as well. It will teach you a lot of the skills that you need to learn to get through life in any kind of field, whether it's to do with family, whether it's to do with friends, whether it's to do with family, whether it's to do with building businesses on the side. It will give you all the skills that you need. And
talking about those skills, let's get specific. What kind of skills do you need? What's the great makeup of a network marketer?
I'd say it's that word that's left my head. It's to do with take accountability. So you need to be accountable for everything that you do, all the time that you spend on what you're spending it on, and it comes down to focus as well. What are you focusing your time on? Are you focusing it on bullshit like memes and stuff like that? Or are you
turn down my meme game? Or are you searching hashtag meme every day? I want to do.
Yeah. Or are you focusing it on money making activities?
Okay.
And obviously you need to spend your time on money making activities.
So is there a big emphasis on coaching and mentorship through network marketing? Yes. Is that what you found?
Even though that's not really like what's the main thing to do in network marketing, is to create your sales, create your leads, etc. But I found that if you mentor and go ahead and coach your current customers, current business partners, etc., then it'll go a long way.
So going above that, so look, the accountability is something you get when you join a company that's a network marketing company.
So you can't slack.
Exactly, because you're part of a community. And correct me if I'm wrong, right? But what about the actual skill sets of an individual? What are the individual, pieces of makeup that make a successful network marketer? Talk to me about some of the things you have to have developing in you. Is it sales? Is it marketing? I'm obviously giving you a few.
It would be...
Give me a top three. Top three right now, what makes up a great network marketer? I want to hear it.
Thick skin, rhino skin.
Thick skin, so resilience.
Yeah, resilience. Like if you're gonna be like a little crybaby when you hear rejections, you might as well just leave. You need to develop that thick skin.
Oh, rejections. I thought you said injections. No. This company's serious.
Exactly.
Juicing the boys up.
Exactly. Thick skin. You need to be able to handle rejections. You need to be able to handle all the noise from your friends and family as well, because it's kind of hard to hear your friends and family kind of turning against you in that sense.
What do you mean?
Marketing isn't like a normal profession, right?
Yeah.
So it's not respected towards friends and families.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of negative aspects in terms of perceptions on network marketing in general. So if you hear it from someone, like you probably end up like befriending them over time, the regular person would. And that's what's happened. Like all of my secondary school friends just died down.
Because they're probably, and this comes down to something that I'm very passionate about, and it's your circle of influence, right?
Exactly.
And you can't, there's so many quotes about, your X amount of people, blah, blah, blah. Very hypothetical, but I believe that there's, some core things that you surround yourself with. First thing is the people, right? The people who you're listening to, the people who you're watching, the people who you're consuming information from.
Exactly.
The second one is obviously technology, social media, the people you don't know. They are having a massive influence on everything. You're listening to Gary Vee.
Yeah.
Does Gary Vee necessarily know who you are right now?
No.
But has he influenced at least one decision you've ever made?
A heck lot of decisions.
Exactly. In a positive way.
In a very positive way.
This is the point. If somebody's negatively affecting you, that's something you need to pick up on in your circle of influence, right?
That's a huge thing.
So talk to me about, so resilience.
Circles, my second.
Oh damn, this guy. Nicking my content, bro. Alright, so your circle of influence.
Circle of influence. Because if you're listening to negative people all the time, you're going to become negative. I think the quote is like, you're the average of the 5 people you're...
Jim Rohn, big dog.
Exactly. And I'm a big person on like positive and negative energy.
Yes.
If you have negative energy, get the hell away from me.
So how do we audit that in life? How do you, if somebody's, but this is this is a big thing that a lot of people face when I coach people and consultants. You know, let's clean out all the trash from your circle of influence. But then I start hearing these are the most common things. But it's my mom.
Yeah. It's hard.
This is the person who's raised me, fed me, and maybe in some cases still doing that. Right? How do people break away in a sensible, you know, decent manner from these influences in life? Because it's as easy for us to say, cut that out, get rid of them, delete their number, block them on Instagram, get rid of them.
Mom, you can't.
But what if that is the main influence that is stopping their progression?
Yeah.
What do they do? How do you do this? What's the technique?
I'm still
going
through that. I'm still going through that.
It's a challenge.
It's hard. I just can't cancel out the noise.
How?
I'll either walk out the room straight away as soon as I hear like anything negative.
Not necessarily from your mom, but anybody.
Yeah, literally. Like I mainly get it from my mom and dad. Like I've cancelled everyone out.
Yeah.
Right now. It's just my mom and dad right now. So as soon as I hear anything negative, I walk out the room.
Okay.
And they'll like scream for me to come back and stuff, but it's okay. They understand that I don't want to hear anything negative.
Yeah, and the good thing is you're not. Well, that's one of the key lessons that I'll take away from that is you're not giving resistance. You're not trying. I think the lesson in that is you're not trying to convince them and educate them beyond their level of knowledge.
Yeah.
Because then you're going to get drawn into a battle. It's going to be you versus them. That's going to just go escalate. Next thing you know, you're out of there. And it's negative, right?
It always happens. You get into disputes with your parents and stuff like that, and it's always best to avoid it because from afar you don't know who's right and wrong in a sense.
Cool. Drop me a third point. So we've got resilience, we've got your circle of influence. You know, this is a big thing. What's the third thing that, you know, a great network marketer must have?
Money-making activities.
Money-making activities.
Yes.
Profit-driven activities.
Yes.
Capitalism.
Yes.
Talk to me about some of those. Educating.
Generating leads.
Generating leads. Oh, I love that. I know that's one of my favourite subjects in the world.
Exactly. So you need to.
Money making activities.
Yeah, it kind of has to be indirect. I think indirect is the best kind of generating leads activity.
What is a money making activity in network marketing? How do we get a money making activity? Is it necessarily a transaction? Is that the only money making activities, or is it everything that leads up to that?
In my opinion, I mean, it has been stated that it would just be the presentation and closing.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, it would be producing good content to attract maybe like-minded people who want to change in their life, so on and so forth. People who are unhappy, and then converting that into let's meet up and talk about our coffee. And I generally just talk about their life anyway. I provide solutions. I draw it out for them. What's your life right now, and what you want to happen, and what could happen with IML, for example. So I'm more of a solution-based person rather than let's just jump into forex. Yeah. Do a bit of consulting on the side in terms of helping people with emotional difficulties, positive, negative energy, etc.
Sure.
Mainly good content online on social media, building yourself as a brand.
So these are money-making activities, right?
In my opinion,
because they're going to lead to transactions.
Yeah, exactly. And you don't want to be forcing it down their throats. So jump into forex. This is why you want to be showing your lifestyle, showing how it's changed you.
Not just financially.
Yeah, not just financially, mentally. Like I think last night I was falling asleep to the 10x rule by Grant Cardone, and if it wasn't for marketing, I wouldn't have understood that your subconscious mind is 30,000 times stronger than your conscious mind. So that's why I fall asleep to audio.
Nice. All right, so boom, we've got resilience, we've got circle of influence, and we've got money-making activities. It's funny because I look at all three of those and I think we could apply those to anything, not just network marketing.
Exactly.
Right? The stigma is interesting. The stigma attached to network marketing. Why do you think it gets a bad rap, bro? Is it because there's so many bad, awful,
I think people are
dirtily poor network marketers?
Yeah. I don't think there's a big emphasis on mentorship in network marketing.
Okay, so it's just plug and play. Here's the product, here's your downline, attack!
Yeah, there's no methods execution. Well, people are big on execution as well. In our marketing, even though it's a bit of a funny thing. But in terms of like the method of execution, it's not really overplayed. It's pretty underplayed in our marketing.
I understand.
Yeah.
I understand. Okay. And with the financial trading product, or the service, as I understand it, there's a group, or I don't understand it into the particulars of what you know, of course, but the signals, from the financial trading world, IML provides signals. You can either choose to follow those or not follow those at certain times. But generally, they're great signals and they're profitable, and people are massively benefiting, right?
Yeah. I mean, IML is initially an education company.
Okay.
So they provide you with about 80 plus videos. They also have about 30 educators that go on live TV shows every day. For about 180 hours a week.
Wow.
And then there's other softwares like the signals. That just to help you supplement your income.
Okay, I understand.
And it's more towards enrich, empower, and educate people. Yeah.
That makes sense. Okay, cool. Now, one thing that is very powerful in network marketing is the use of events and people-to-people interactions. Now, how powerful would you say, if we said there was no more, if it was outlawed, no more events, network marketing events, God forbid that happens, right? But there's no more of these events, how much of an impact would that have? And how powerful is event marketing and bringing people into a room to the business model of
it's one of the biggest things in our marketing in terms of, because you're leveraging someone that's better than you, someone that's more professional in that industry, someone who has more knowledge, someone who's better at closing, and you're using them as leverage to kind of convert your prospects into customers.
Okay.
Like we even have one on Saturday. 2 people from America who are basically at the top of the game. Making about 500k a month.
Wow.
At the ages of like 25. They're coming down, and we're going to use them as leverage to convert prospects into customers.
To drive your prospects to an event, and it's not just you, it's obviously a ton of network marketers.
It's hard for like someone that to understand that you've developed and grown and they're still in the same place. So they don't want to hear what you're saying.
Because of the ego, because of they knew you probably at your worst.
Exactly.
Because if I always say this is a really good point. If somebody says they know you, that means that they knew you. They don't necessarily know you now, and this happens in the client world as well. When you're dealing with a client, often you'll get the respect you walk through the door with. So if you pitched them, 10% of what you're pitching them now, it's always going to be difficult for those guys to adjust to that pitch, because they've already made their beliefs about who you are and what you do. So, what if there were no more events? How would you go about building this business?
Sheesh.
Tough one.
It would be a tough one. It'd be a bit harder for warm prospects.
So what part of that customer journey are you responsible for in terms of bringing people into IML?
I am also independent in that aspect, so I don't actually rely on events, but I do use them as much as possible, if that makes sense.
So if we look at the client timeline, so are you attracting the client or the potential client or prospect or partner, whatever you want to call them? You're attracting them, you're driving them, you're either closing them yourself or you're getting some help and support and driving them to an event where some of your leaders in the company can go about closing them, right? What makes a good close?
Ooh.
What is a good close?
Good question.
Why are these guys so talented at closing, these Americans? But already, I'm going to give you what I think already. So I've seen the promotion, I've seen the graphic for these 2 guys. Very sharp gentlemen, right?
Okay.
And already, we're bringing down 2 guys who are our top earners from America. What does that say to me? Wow. First of all, they're from America, they're not probably going to stay for very long, so scarcity comes into it.
Exactly.
Second of all, they're top earners, they're from America. For all I know, they're from Leamington Spa, and they've just done a really good course in accents.
Yeah.
I've seen it happen, bro.
Really?
We've worked with clients who have hired actors in their seminars. This is the game I've seen go down. The top guys in the world who are running these seminars are using a ton of actors because they need certain beliefs to be portrayed from the audience in order to close, right? Or in order to close more, right? So then the first thing is the scarcity that you've just given me because they're coming from America. The second thing is the positioning. Top earners. Whoa, the absolute best. I need to be there. What else makes a great close? So we've got scarcity, we've got positioning.
It'd be practice.
Experience,
practice, and basically applying knowledge. So you need to get your knowledge from people who are experts in it. For example, Grant Cardone, he has a book on the closer survival guide, where you have to have an arsenal of closes behind you.
So it's not just one way.
It's not one way.
Okay.
You have to have an arsenal behind you. So if one doesn't go your way, you can talk to them more about the product, for example. You can talk to them about what intrigued them the most, and then you can try another close. Come back to it.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's one of my biggest passions.
I didn't realise that.
Because closing can easily be replaced with problem solving.
It could.
And closing, it has a stigma. All of these words around, closing, conversion. There's different opinions out there in the world about each one of these things. But what we're talking about is closing as a skill. Right? So scarcity. That already helps with the close. Would you agree? Positioning. How important is positioning in the modern world of social media, in your opinion? Branding. This is what we're talking about, personal brand. So we look at, I invite everybody to go check out his Instagram. It'll be on the bottom of the screen somewhere. When you do check it out, you'll see that there's not just pure products being plugged. There's a lot of educational content. What other content do you put on your socials?
A lot of the stuff I put on is things I've learned or things my mentor has told me, because those are like invaluable information that can only be produced over a certain amount of time or a certain amount of pressure. So I give that out for free, and I think everyone should give their best value out for free, because if you're providing value to thousands and then you somehow one day come out with a product, for example, like Gary Vee does, he provides all his best content ever, and he provides a shit ton of them. And then he came out with a sneaker deal with K-Swifts, and that sold out in like a couple minutes.
Of course.
Because, and the books as well, people email him telling him, I feel so guilty with how much value you've given me that I'm going to buy all your books.
So reciprocation, big thing. So with your content on your socials, you're pumping out, people would ask, well, if it's so valuable, why are you giving it away for free? And the immediate thing when you look at it in a business context is when you give somebody so much value and it actually benefits them, and I believe in this as well, they feel the human nature is that we need to reciprocate and fill that debt and give them something, whether it be the easiest thing is financial, or supporting or donating or whatever it is. You see so many personalities online monetizing their following by donations. These gamers.
It's
insane. Like crazy. $1, and they're not even asking for
every
it.
second.
It's insane. It's like pay-per-view. Right, the new pay-per-view. Okay, so you've got your educational material now. Why is the vaping? Because look, you've got your educational. You're talking about forex, and all of a sudden he's doing all the.
Exactly that.
And I saw that and I was like, hold on a minute, first of all, that's a different route, right? I'm thinking, hold on, so he's in the vape game, he's obviously well versed in the vape game, and it's a passion, of course. I've tried to do it, I've got 2 or 3 vapes sitting in a drawer somewhere at home. It's not for me, right? It's a very difficult skill. How does that help you in your business? Or does it help you in your business? Does it help you gain attention?
It does. That's how I was able to build to like 2,500 followers. Because I was the first person in like my whole area, or even London, I'm not sure, to actually produce content in terms of vaping.
Yeah.
And I basically saw a video in America of some people doing it, and then I started practicing. It was more in terms of not really showing off, but like entertainment.
Yes.
Yeah, entertainment. And if you can actually entertain a crowd, then you can grab a lot of attention.
Mm-hmm.
And then whatever you bring out, they receive that attention of your product, for example.
So it's would you say it's helping you in terms of gathering more attention from different niches?
100%.
And how important is it, having, in terms of sales and closing and all the rest of it, how important is it to have shared values with a prospect? Is it necessary to close a prospect to have at least one shared value?
There's always going to be one shared value, because we're humans at the end of the day. We have common values anyway, if you're brought up right anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So in a sense where it's a powerful thing to actually have something in common with someone, because then it drives relatability, and if you feel like you're the same as me and I've made a decision, then you're going to make that decision too. And you can do it through mirroring anyway. Like,
what is mirroring?
How you sit, and that drives relatability.
So if I wanted you to be more engaged in a conversation and I was chilling out, and I draw you in here, the chances are you're probably going to help.
Yeah, I'm going to slowly come forward.
Why is that? Is that just human psychology, human nature?
Yeah, it is. It's like how you smile. Like, if you smile, I am automatically going to smile. And I do this all the time.
Are they waiting for me to smile? Watching my lips and that? Yeah. That's true.
It's true.
Yeah, it's reciprocation in body language.
Yeah. It's powerful.
You've talked about some of your virtual mentors, I'd call them, Gary V, Grant Cardone, two guys I've supported their cause, I've bought their books, I've listened to their content. I actually had to tune out of Gary V for a while because I was watching more than I was doing.
It's true.
So how dangerous is it to get caught in that loop? Have you ever been caught in the loop?
I have, for so long.
Because I know guys who've, Ty Lopez, he's another guy out there who's an incredibly talented internet marketer, and I love Ty Lopez as a fan of what he's built. Not necessarily his content, but the way he's destroyed a market in 3 years, 4 years. He just took over the game out of nowhere, and his strategy was flawless. Still is. He's got all this content out there about him in a negative light, still driving his sales, still growing his business, right?
Exactly.
Who are some of the other guys that you're following right now? Is that all of them?
Those are the main two, but as you were saying with Gary Vee, I don't think we finished that question off. It's so easy to get caught up with just listening and watching the content and not executing, because as humans we're kind of lazy in a sense. We don't want to do the things that drive us out of our comfort zone, and that's a huge thing in our marketing. Your comfort zone gets destroyed and you have to just put in the work.
Get comfortable being uncomfortable.
Exactly.
Right, and I've seen it, that's why I brought up Ty Lopez. I've had consultants who I've worked with who have taken, some of Ty's training programs. 50 hours of content, brutal program to actually just consume. I mean, where do we find? If I need results right now, I'm about to get evicted from a house. My missus has left me because I'm broke. I've got £400. I spend it on Ty's program. Teach me, Ty, I need to make some money. And then all of a sudden, I've got to watch 50 hours. By the time I've got through that content, guess what?
Exactly.
All them prospects probably just signed with someone else.
Exactly.
So a tip I'd give to anybody who's watching who's very consumed with content is, look, take inspiration, use it as a boost, and don't use it as motivation, use it as inspiration. Mirror what these guys are doing. I always say, don't do what they say, do what they do.
Exactly.
Right? You got guys who are saying, look, you need to do this, this and this. You look at their strategy, they're not teaching any of it, right? The positioning, the awareness, the closing, right? How did you get out of that cycle of watching and just chilling?
A big thing is, you say for example you're a consultant. Pick a top consultant, someone that you look you're inspired by it.
Yeah.
Look at their daily schedule. What do they do? Write on everything they do, and then draw a line and write on everything you do. And you basically just mirror exactly what they do instead of what they're talking about. And that's a powerful thing because they're focused on money making activities anyway. And you're more likely focused on listening to all their content, trying to get everything in your head.
Is there a big difference between being a fan and being a mentee? How many of these guys are actually, I mean, as a percentage, what do you think? How many of these people are actioning the content that they're consuming?
1%.
1% are actually doing it?
Yeah. And Gary Vee says this as well. He goes to unsubscribe from everything. Once you've heard what you need to hear, unsubscribe, get rid of it.
Does he?
Yeah, he says.
Well, I did it.
He said,
I had to let go.
Exactly. He goes, delete everything that you know of me and just put in the work for the next 5 years.
And then come back.
Yeah, and then come back and send me an email saying, you alright?
And I'll close you on a testimonial.
Exactly, yeah.
What would you say is the main difference between Grant and Gary?
Grant is more towards like selling. Gary is more towards providing value in a sense where he chokes your excuses. He tells you how it is, and he tells you how to execute and what to focus on and how to be fulfilled in a sense. Yeah.
What about this? So I'll challenge this, and this is a point, you know, that I'm always batting around in my mind. Gary Vee comes back to the relatability, okay, and how relevant is your mentor to actually what you're going through. Now Gary Vee obviously is the head of a 100 million plus per year company, killing it with the clients. He's in his 40s, I might be wrong, he might be 30. He looks in his 40s anyway. Looks like it worked. So, a new entrepreneur starting out, they're listening to Gary Vee. I mean, how effective is that? I'll challenge, how effective is it listening to a guy who's already bringing in 100 million and listening to the tactics that he's giving you now as being Gary Vee and telling you that these work, as opposed to, I mean, how relatable is that? Because how does Gary's tactics, unless they're just really universal, how can they apply to your life?
They can. I mean, not what he's doing business-wise, but the value he gives in terms of lessons learned and to avoiding what he's done wrong and what do exactly what he did right. Stuff like that. Like, if you're coming from a place of relatability and you're looking for that, then you might as well look for like a friend in the same position as you. But you need to look for a mentor, not someone who you can be relatable to. Because a mentor is like, he's been through what you're going to go through. He's been through his problems, he's overcome those problems. And you can learn from his mistakes and do exactly what he did right. Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
I'll still challenge it though. Because I've got to say, because that was my problem. And that's what my mentor said to me. I'm talking, Gary said this, Gary said that. And he's like, dude, unsubscribe right now from Gary Vee. How the hell is Gary Vee, in the position he's in, going to understand and empathize with the position you're in? The tactics it took Gary to get to that 100 mil per year point are probably different, or I can guarantee are completely different to where he is now. Do you think when he goes, now he's dictating maybe when he's pitching and saying, look, you either want to work with us or you don't, because I'm Gary Vee and I know. Back then, so they're probably leaving deals on the table, right? And this is just my opinion. But now, when we're talking about when he started at the agency, do you think they were turning a ton of deals now? Do you think their close was more venomous, if you like, and more succinct with, we need to get these deals done to grow the business? That's my argument. You don't have to answer it, but that's my argument. Do you understand where I'm coming from? But I understand what you're saying. I always say take everything these guys say with a pinch of salt, because number one, you're not American.
Yeah, of course.
What works in America does not work in England when we're talking about
most of the stuff.
Prospecting a British person versus prospecting an American person. I know this, I work with both.
Yeah. It's true.
I've tried tactics that worked with Americans and Americans respond to. And you do it to Tom down the road who loves his Tesco meal deal, right? He doesn't like hypey sales or anything like that.
Yeah, no, of course.
It's dangerous place.
It's more towards your environment, what you're used to, what kind of social constructs there are, and what kind of like neuron paths that actually you're used to, and what makes you tick. What makes people tick here might not make people tick there.
Exactly. I agree. One last, let's cap it all off. You know, I want to keep enough content here so I can bring you back in 6 months and see what's happened. Okay. Right, see where you're at. Maybe things have changed. Maybe things, beliefs have changed. Right, it's always good to recap.
Oh yeah.
What advice would you give to somebody watching this right now who's thinking about, I'm thinking about starting my own thing. I'm scared. They've got all these challenges and resistance barriers in their mind about why. There's so many reasons. I always say this. There's so many reasons not to do a business deal, and you only need one good one to do it.
Exactly.
Right. What advice would you give to that guy or girl sitting out there thinking, I've been thinking about this for 2 years and it's just never happened?
What my one would be, what do you have to lose? Literally, like, you're probably in the same position that you were in last year, more or less, or maybe even the year before that as well. So exactly what do you have to lose? You can go back into your job if your business doesn't go the way you want it to go. Like I said, 18 months, just go all out. If you have made zero progress, then it's fine. You can go back to what you were doing before. If you're making progress and it's starting to become something and you can do this for the rest of your life and you enjoy what you're doing, then I mean, it would be a lot better to actually love what you're doing and make little money than hate what you're doing and make a lot of money. That's my belief.
Okay, look, I know this guy's been watching my content. That's what I said a couple of days ago. yeah, good. I've given him all the answers already.
Basically.
What have you got to lose, ladies and gentlemen? This is one of the things. It's no coincidence that similar things come up when I'm having these discussions. The job that you're holding down, if you're good at that job, the chances are when you go out and you experiment, you try hard, you do the best you can. If it doesn't work out, chances are that job, not with the same company, but that role will be there with another company because your CV's not going anywhere. The thing that is going somewhere is the procrastination on your ideas, right? And I wrote a caption about this a few days ago on my Instagram where I talk about it's not about you not prospering from the idea you didn't move on.
Yeah.
That's not the measure of impact, because that only impacts you and what you didn't get out of moving on your ideas. The real tragedy is in all of the people who would have benefited from that idea. They don't get to see or experience or feel their problems being solved by that idea. Now when you think about the impact of that, that's a mass scale consequence.
It's a high purpose.
It's a consequence of inaction.
Yeah.
So when you're thinking about it, you can think, what's in it for me? And if I lose, is there a safety net? Probably if you're half decent on what you do right now. But when you think about not doing it, don't think about what you won't get out of it. Think about all the people that have missed out on an opportunity because you were too scared, lazy, scared of judgment. The list goes on and on and on. And for me, I'm very passionate about that because I look back on people I used to work with and I know they're still doing the same thing.
Exactly.
And there's been no progress.
Exactly.
And that pains me.
It does.
That I haven't been able to inspire you enough.
Exactly.
We were the same person sitting there together and I haven't inspired you enough. You know who I'm talking about. You might be watching this. We shared that desk, you know who I'm talking about. But I haven't inspired you enough to have a bigger impact and a bigger purpose. And my whole thing is about, look, how many people can we help, right? How many people can we help more people? And that for me is the most inspirational thing. Legacy, but also legacy whilst living.
Yeah, exactly.
People are like, what can I leave behind? Leave it now.
Yeah, exactly.
Do something that can be left now. You know what I mean? So listen, I hope you've taken some value from this. I know for a fact you will have. This guy right here, I'm looking forward to a long, fun relationship. Business for me is one of my biggest passions. Sales, lead generation, people, networking. These are all skills that, if you acquire them in your journey, will benefit you in anything in life. And I feel like you hit a hell of a lot of those points on the head, and a lot of people can take a lot of value, man. So look, leave your comments. Want to hear your thoughts. What do you think? Do you agree? Are all network marketers snakes? Maybe you thought that before watching this video. I hope that you're enlightened to see how much value individuals in that space are bringing to the marketplace, uplifting people. Let me hear your comments. Give me your thoughts. Do you agree with what Asim was saying? Do you not agree? Give your arguments. I'm very keen to hear them. And until next time, thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Cheers, man.
Cheers.